That's probably not the volume I'm going to be talking about. I'll probably be like,
vocal fry.
Yeah, we
That's
gotta
not working.
we gotta get our guests to stop doing that vocal fry stuff. There's the
It's just Nicholas Christian and I.
yeah,
we're gonna talk about movies.
That's why I've decided to sit further away from the microphone so that
you're forced to be
so I
louder.
don't have the habit of.
All right, you guys ready?
Did you turn my
Whoa,
volume
wait,
up
you're
a little?
recording. You can't put that in there.
All right. Welcome to my dad's movie podcast. I'm Mick Johnson. I'm the dad. And tonight with me, I have three of my sons. Tabor Johnson.
Hi. The fan's running, and it's making me mad.
Just
I'll fix it in post. Don't worry about it.
No,
just pull the cord one time.
Alex Good, he knows.
pull the cord.
I also got Alec Johnson
Hello.
and Nicholas Johnson.
Hello.
That was just the same kid twice.
Hello.
Anyways, what'd you say about cutting the cord?
Yeah. I'm currently working on. I'm editing the episode for.
Yeah, that's great. So tonight we're talking about.
Cut your ums down.
Yeah.
Before I cut your head off.
Dolph
what are you,
Lundgren?
Dolph Lundgren?
Yeah.
Man, look at all these callbacks
Mike
right off.
Ferguson.
I got the call back.
Anyway, I'm editing an episode right
Anyway,
now.
Cody Newton.
Yeah, hey!
Cody Newton, man.
Jeffrey Jones.
Did we mention what's his name yet?
Let's get them all in there at the beginning. Jeez, freaking A, man.
I don't know what we're talking about right now.
Dude, this is off the rails. What are we talking about today, Dad?
Oh, so you want the real subject?
Yeah.
Okay. So tonight, actually, we're not going to talk about any directors. Tonight, we're just going to focus on two movies. And they're two movies that are about relationships between brothers and a little bit relationship between a dad and sons. So we're going to talk about the Iron Claw and Onward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Pixar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Pixar.
Is it Disney Pixar? Because that was after Disney acquired.
I think it's
Pixar, right?
Disney Pixar, yeah.
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 I mean, it was on Disney Plus, but then again,
Yeah, a lot of
Everything's on
stuff's on
Disney
Disney Plus nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, Pixar has always been Disney, but Pixar was independently owned and, they would like work with Disney, and now Pixar is owned by Disney. So there's like no...
you just said the same thing twice. You said Pixar was owned by Disney, and now Pixar's owned by Disney.
No. I said Pixar worked with Disney, and they would, pay for their services. Stop doing that. So, I mean, Pixar honestly could have sold their services to any company. They could have done DreamWorks if they wanted, but
Do
Disney...
you think they're ever going to have a DreamWorks streaming service?
DreamStream?
Yeah, Streamworks.
Stream. Oh, dang, dude.
That's good. That's good
Yeah,
stuff.
that's good. No. I don't think they ever-
Anyways, Disney owns everything, so watch Bigfoot Falls on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
What do we want to start with? The Iron Claw or Onward?
Iron Claw on Disney Plus as well.
Let's start with Onward, I think.
Okay.
I have a lot to say about Iron Claw, so we should
Okay.
save that for last.
Yeah, so we just watched Onward like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think?
I thought it was a good little movie.
Yeah, it is a good little movie, I think.
Yeah.
What did you think, Tabor?
I thought it was a good little movie.
Yeah, what did you think, Dad?
It was all right.
All right. Kick him off the podcast.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you cried while watching it just
Oh,
now.
yeah. I did.
Yeah, actually, I did cry at the end.
Yeah, I cried.
I didn't cry.
Yeah.
Did you get teary-eyed?
No.
All right, well,
No.
let's talk about Iron
I got
Claw.
the stage before getting teary-eyed, where you're...
Choked up.
Wait, give him a sec. Yeah, where it's like you think about getting teary-eyed, but then you don't.
That's such a weird thing to say. That's what a robot would say.
Yeah.
Well,
Thinking about getting teary-eyed. Human beings don't think about getting teary-eyed. They're just overcome.
you see, I thought about getting teary-eyed, but I
Back
decided
when
otherwise.
I was a human. I mean, I am
Yeah.
a human.
we become overcome with emotion and we cry. Alec just looks around and goes, well, everybody else is crying. Should I cry?
Yeah.
Maybe I should cry.
Maybe I should initiate the tear protocol.
What are the movies that have made you cry, Alec?
The Iron Claw.
Oh, that's crazy. We're talking about that
That
today.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is why I didn't watch it with Nicholas and Dad, because I don't think I can only handle crying about once or twice a year, and I've already met my quota for 2025. So,
Jeez, what happened in 2025?
we don't need to talk about that.
Okay.
And then the other movie is Signs,
Signs is a good one.
which
Oh.
we also talked about.
The dinner table scene.
No.
The-
For
No?
you,
For me, it's the dinner table scene. For Alec, it's when Meryl is swinging
Swing away,
away.
Meryl.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
love how we talk about,
we talked about that, like 2 months ago, and it's getting posted like.
dude, that video keeps getting bumped for other
Speaking of bump, check out
Yeah.
bump.
Bump.
On YouTube from Rat's Nest Productions. That was my debut short film.
yeah.
I started working on my feature film
Oh, yeah?
last night or the night before. Yeah, working on brainstorming, getting that put together.
Working on it like you've got something on paper, or working on it like you've started thinking about it.
No. I got something on paper now.
Or working on it like you're in production.
No, I'm not in production. Nowhere close to production.
I loved Onward. I think it's a fun movie. I love Chris Pratt. Love Tom Holland.
I'm okay with Chris Pratt. I kind of feel like he is falling into the what is that?
The Pedro Pascal camp where he's in everything.
No, not the
Mm,
Pedro Pascal camp where he's in everything, but the Ryan Reynolds camp where he plays the same thing
That's
over
true.
and over.
Did you think he played the same thing in this?
Kinda, yeah. I felt that if you took the animation away, that it was just Chris Pratt.
you'd
You could have
see
just
Chris
watched
Pratt.
Chris Pratt on. Yeah, you could have taken the cartoon element away.
And watched Guardians
was
of the Galaxy.
playing-
Yeah, and just had Chris Pratt.
He wasn't
and,
playing Guardians of the Galaxy, Chris Pratt. He was playing Parks
Andy
and Rec.
Dwyer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec, Chris Pratt.
Yeah, you could just had.
You haven't watched enough Chris Pratt movies then.
I guess I
Yeah.
haven't seen that
Well,
many.
In the Super Mario movie, he didn't even try at an accent. He just played Chris Pratt.
I like Chris Pratt. Anywho,
I like Tom Holland.
I liked the dynamic between the two. And I love the quest that they're on to see their father and stuff like that. And I think it's a good story, got good emotion. And I thought they all did a good job voice acting and stuff. Because it's not like they are quote unquote voice actors. They're just actors
Yeah.
who are taking a stab at voice acting. But I think they did a good job with
That
it.
brings up the argument about whether people should hire actors to do voice work or if they should hire voice actors. There's lots of people who complain about that. They're just like, why aren't we hiring voice actors anymore? Disney used to hire voice actors to do all of their cartoons.
Yeah.
And I watched a video and they said, you want to know where that ended? It ended with Aladdin.
Mhm.
After Aladdin, you had Robin Williams doing the voice of the genie, and Aladdin made buku bucks. And so they said, this is what we need. We need movie stars who are bankable outside of animation, and we need to put them in animation. And that's what's going to get people to watch animation.
Which I feel like most of the money from animation is coming from parents bringing their family. So I don't feel like if you're going to watch any other live action movie, I'd understand being like, oh, I wasn't going to watch it, but I see that this big actor that I like is in it. But no one's looking at a trailer for like a Disney animated film and being like, oh, that guy, that cartoon on the screen, I know him.
Yeah,
They're just going for the cute little cartoon.
There's no 5-year-old kid who goes, I know that hairy man child. Let's go see Aladdin.
Yeah.
What do you think Robin Williams is up to lately?
Gosh.
You think he's still dead?
Like Generalissimo Franco Francisco? Yeah.
What is that?
It's an SNL joke.
Oh,
Listen to my SNL podcast.
Speaking
and
of
you'll-
people being dead and that joke, let's hunt and kill Chevy Chase.
Ooh, Chevy Chase. Yeah, that
is
guy.
that your new feature? It's the man who killed Hitler and Bigfoot and Chevy Chase.
At the same time or at different occasions?
It's all the same person.
Well, the movie is titled The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot.
Oh, okay.
So it's one after the other.
Is that a real? That sounds like a real
yeah,
movie.
it is.
real
And it
movie, yeah.
has
Sam Neill.
Nope. The one with the big
Rockwell.
mustache
No.
That's like the poster boy for Republicans.
He's in Tombstone.
Elliot.
Yeah.
No,
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott.
Oh yeah.
He's the man who killed Hitler and then the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And hopefully Chevy Chase.
Is it Chevy Chase or Chevy Chase?
It's Chevrolet Chase.
We already
Holy
made
crap, this
we
has
already made
happened.
This exact same joke on the Whiplash one.
Yeah, this is deja vu.
That's why Nicholas
Oh
said
my
it that
gosh.
way.
Did we just recycle a joke?
We did.
Yep.
Okay, cut that. Jeffrey Jones.
Anywho, I really enjoyed Onward. I get choked up at the end, but looking over and seeing Tabor crying, I think got me even more crying.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
It's hard for me to get into cartoons sometimes. And even though I can like recognize the sad parts, just watching cartoon characters, I don't know. Sometimes I'm not really, I don't like them that much. But this was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like me and foreign films, right?
Yeah.
You gotta start watching more
Well,
foreign
it's
films.
because you're nationalist and because Dad is cartoonist.
Cartoonist.
Well, it's because, remember, I don't know if you guys remember because you were little, but Dad was working at Lens Crafters. I think it was
Yes.
Lens Crafters. Maybe you guys weren't even born yet.
I was
But
born
he
when
got
Dad
laid
worked at
off and they
Lens
hired a
Crafters.
cartoon instead and took his job.
Oh, that would make sense then.
Yeah.
I've
It's
never
like-
liked them since then.
It's like how people are getting fired because they're hiring robots to do jobs now, and it's
It was-
created
It was cartoons in the 90s and now
Yeah.
it's robots.
and it's created slurs for robots, which is crazy.
Yeah.
What?
What do they
Yeah,
call
they,
them?
I-
call them clankers.
Oh,
It's crazy.
I am going to start using that hardcore.
Well,
Drop the hard R with the
hard R
clanker.
with clanker.
Yeah, you're
Jeez.
gonna start using that
The
now until
clanker?
someone listens to this episode in 20 years and it's
And I
no
get-
longer PC
I get canceled for
for saying
slurring.
something that you never thought would be bad.
Yeah. The reason why I picked Onward, though, is because I felt that it was a little similar to Iron Claw. Now, it is not live action. It's not based on a true story and stuff like that, but it is about brothers and their
and
relationship.
none of those little elf characters kill themselves.
True. But it is about brothers and their relationship and the relationship they had with their father. And that's a huge
or
element.
the relationship they didn't
Or
have
the
with their
relationship
father.
they didn't have with their father. That's a huge element in Iron Claw as well. Because kind of jumping into Iron Claw a little at the end when Kevin is like, you weren't there for any of them. I wonder if any of them felt like they had a good relationship with their father.
Yeah. The relationship with their father, I mean, it was just very transactional and business. It was almost like there was no personal element to it whatsoever. I don't think any of them really knew Fritz as a human being. They only knew him as a wrestler and as a promoter.
Well, in the movie, yeah.
Dad did. Yeah, Dad was telling me that the movie is more exaggerated about how bad the dad was and
Well,
stuff.
It kind of has to be
Yeah.
because you have to have an entertaining movie.
You have to have,
Conflict.
Yeah.
what's it called? In Tagalog, it's contrabida.
A
where it's
villain?
like, yeah, like a villain or the antagonist.
Yeah.
You have to have that in the movie. So
And in
it's-
Tagalog, it's called Duende.
actually,
Every movie, you have to have a Duende.
actually, the Duende are kind of in Onward. They're little
That's
elf
true.
people. But
Dude,
Um,
why haven't you written a Duende movie yet?
actually, because I believe in them. And I
Yeah.
I
There's
There's
don't want
certain,
them.
there's certain things in certain cultures that you don't
write
make,
about?
you don't make light of. In Native American culture, you don't make movies about skinwalkers.
I'm not messing with the Duende. I did not believe it until.
Is that the thing that who was your friend up at scout camp and stuff? Yeah.
we were
up at-
hunting a Wendigo.
yeah,
That's
that
a
was it.
real thing, though.
Yeah.
What do you mean that's a real thing?
This is the stuff that Fallon says. Fallon read a book and she's like, well, I'll never go into the forest ever again. I was like, you've never gone into the forest regardless.
I'll never go into the forest because of Tabor's favorite movie.
What's my favorite movie?
Blair Witch.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's not Tabor's
I
favorite.
thought you were going to
movie.
say Deliverance.
That's another reason not to go into the woods.
But Onward, the conflict is getting to the stone and then getting their dad back. And the brother, Tom Holland, he's really wanting to meet his father. He's never even met his father. And Chris Pratt has met his father, but he never got to say
What are the
goodbye to
character
him.
names? Ian and
Yeah, Ian
Malcolm.
and Gloin.
Dr. Ian Malcolm.
Yeah.
Is it Gloin?
Jurassic Park.
I think it's a Gloin.
Chris Pratt as Barley.
Barley, there we go.
Yeah.
Tom Holland is Ian.
So which one's Gloin?
That's from The Hobbit. But yeah, so Barley wants to say goodbye to his father, and he doesn't know it, I think, in the moment. He's just thinking about, we're going to get to see Dad, same as Tom Holland. I'm going to get to see Dad. And Tom Holland doesn't yet understand until later in the movie the importance of Chris Pratt getting to see his father.
Well, I really liked the realization that Tom Holland playing Ian right?
Sorry.
I love the realization he has when he's going through his little checklist and he's crossing everything off. And then all of a sudden he realizes, oh, wait a minute. I did do that, but that was with my brother. Oh, and I did that one also. And that was with my brother. And he checks off every single one of them, but it all had to do with his brother, not his dad.
Yeah. His dad was the father figure that he needed in his life, and he just didn't realize
his brother.
His brother was the father figure that he needed in his life, and he just didn't realize it.
So you're just going to remove the last sentence and act like you didn't mess up?
Yep.
Got it.
I'm not letting you edit this episode. I'm not going to let that slide. You got that? Don't cut that. So, I really liked Onward. I'm in this boat. I'm kind of like Dad, where I'm like, animation. I don't know.
What about Invincible?
I like Invincible a lot. I love Invincible. It's particularly bad with anime. Also, I do not enjoy. Good grief!
Cut that! Holy crap!
Good grief, dude! All right.
Do we need to just shut this off now?
Yeah, the podcast is over. Shut it down, boys.
I'm killing you for real.
Editor, insert that clip
I'm
of
more
Peter.
concerned by the fact that it looks like Dad knows what that is. Anyway,
insert the clip of Peter Dinklage going, "Shut it down."
Shut it down.
Yeah, anime.
Shout out to Peter
I know
Dinklage.
that you don't like anime. You said that you can handle Korean anime better than you can handle Japanese anime, like the art style.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Korean anime.
Is it the art style or is it how dramatic it is?
I just think that Korean anime, and this is just my opinion, and I bet all the anime people who aren't listening to this podcast right now, because no one's listening to it, but
the guy who gave me my haircut I gave him a card.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think just Korean anime is a little more set. It's a little more realistic, and I think Japanese anime is a little more exaggerated and cartoony, I guess is the best way for me to put it. So like if I'm watching something that's a little over the top and cartoony, I'm not going to enjoy it as much as something that just happens to be animated but is kind of more realistic. I guess a good example would be King of the Hill versus Simpsons. I like both, but I kind of like King of the Hill a little better because it's kind of,
more realistic.
It's not all these fantastical things happening.
Boo.
So other than like the magic element of Onward, would you say it's pretty realistic? At least just like the relationship element to it?
Yeah, I'd say so because it, even though there's magic involved, the story that it's telling is a very human story, and it's something that
the cartoon has a real element to it, even though magic's not the driving force of the story.
Magic's not the driving force. There's just magic in it, but it's a very human, realistic thing. Just there's lots of people.
Well, I think the way that they had the brothers acting towards each other was realistic. That's how brothers act with each other.
They were real brothers, looking for their.
Tabor's pulled up to my high school in his car, blasting his rock music to pick me up.
And pulled up to your middle school.
Yeah,
doing that too.
Yeah.
It was mainly middle school. I don't know if he ever picked me up in high school.
No, I think it was pretty much gone by then. But yeah, I used to pick him up blaring "Money for Nothing" by the Dire Straits, and I would just crank it. And Alec would be sitting there with his little friend.
Windows
that I'd drive
down.
up.
We'll cue it.
Yeah.
for the
And he would just be like, yeah, that's not my brother. I don't know who that is. Get the school resource officer, get him out of here.
Yeah.
Here's something that I was talking about before we started the podcast that I think is interesting is Onward starts at a point of loss. When we start the movie, the father's already gone. The brothers are without the father, and it starts at a point of loss, and it gets to them bonding and going on this journey together because of their grief and to attain that moment with their father at the end.
Kind of like
And-
some closure.
Yeah, to gain closure at the end. And so it started in a place of grief and ended in a place of closure. While the Iron Claw technically didn't start us in a place of grief. Like, we start with Kevin talking about how my family's got a curse. My older brother Jack Jr. has died and stuff.
Oh no, it
But-
definitely starts at a place of grief. At the very beginning, during the black and white portion of the movie, where the dad is sitting in the car with the brothers and the mom, and he
Mhm.
says, "You know, we've been through a lot. I know we're having a hard time." I imagine that part of the movie, I think, takes place maybe like a year after that first son had passed away.
Mm.
And so they're still going through all that. Like, you can tell that there's some heartbreak on the mom's face and everything. And so I think that one starts with heartbreak too.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it's the dad trying to, you have to, I know the dad is kind of the villain in the movie, but I think he just was a broken man who couldn't properly cope with the death of his son and didn't have a healthy hold on his emotions and just kind of thought he was doing what was right. That's a good villain in a movie, is someone who thinks they're doing the right thing.
Yeah. Well, society at the time, a man can't show his emotions. Like,
Oh yeah.
even at the end, Zach Efron, Kevin is like, "You boys shouldn't see me like this. A man isn't supposed to cry." And that's years later. So it's like they all grew up in a time where it's like, be a man. If you're the toughest, if we're the strongest, if we're the most successful, nothing can hurt us. And like Kevin says, they all believed it because their dad believed it. And so they were raised on that.
So the portrayal of the dad, when I watch movies, usually you kind of connect with somebody and you kind of watch it almost from their point of view, sort of. And a lot of times I'll think about, as the dad, what would I be doing? How would I be thinking, and reacting and stuff. It was really hard to connect with the dad on this one. And I know that I had read that it wasn't exactly, he wasn't quite as hard-nosed as they portrayed. But they were making a movie and they needed that. So one thing I was thinking about on that movie is he was trying to become the best at something, right? And then he wanted his sons to become the absolute best. And if you think about what it takes to become the best at something, there's a lot of sacrifice that's involved in becoming the absolute best at something.
We saw it in Whiplash.
Yeah.
How much Andrew Neiman had to give up to be the best drummer in the world.
Right.
He lost his girlfriend. He lost his relationship with his dad. He was in an abusive relationship with his band director. A teacher-student relationship. That's a relationship. I don't mean that he's,
Well, don't talk about teacher-student relationships now because
Yeah.
Anyway.
But that drive that the dad is portrayed to have in the movie, I think that's probably pretty accurate in that's what drive looks like. And I also think that he probably didn't have the best father-son relationship because he probably wasn't raised that way,
No.
So
It's kind of like generational trauma, kind of. Yeah.
right.
This movie came out in what, 2024? No,
23.
This is a 2023.
2023. In 2023, I don't know why, was the year of generational trauma. There were so many movies that came out that were discussing that. There was Turning Red from Pixar. There was Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is an incredible movie. I think it's one of the best movies ever made.
If you like hot dog fingers, absolutely.
Yeah. I still think about that movie all the time. Iron Claw and
Hot Dog Fingers.
Hot Dog Fingers are two movies that I think about all the time.
You know, A24.
Yeah, a 24 pack of hot dogs fitting in this mouth.
Why would you ask me that? You talked about how it was hard for you to connect with the dad in the Iron Claw, but you didn't really have a dad to connect with in Onward because he was just a pair of legs for the whole thing.
No, actually, I did connect with just the legs
Yeah.
way better. Yeah, I found a lot, more connection there.
Why do you think?
Well, I think it was had something to do with like the socks that he had on.
Because you got legs.
Yeah, I got legs, and now my dad, he was in a wheelchair. He had legs, but
So your dad was the top half.
they didn't work.
It was
Yeah.
like the opposite.
So I was the bottom of my dad, and my dad was the top.
So
of
would you say that you
generational
were
trauma.
like the older brother in that?
Yeah, do you remember the part where Barley's dancing and the dad's dancing? So your dad was the upper half dancing and you were the bottom half dancing.
Right. I don't even know why we got off on that. That was stupid.
Well, seriously asking, because it's kind of hard to connect to that dad in that movie when there's really not much of him that you see. So you had to connect to other characters because, you always. So would you say that you saw it through the eyes of like you being an older brother?
For Onward, yeah, I think probably what I was really kind of following and focusing on was the relationship of the older brother to the younger brother, because I'm the oldest brother in my family, right?
Yeah.
I am too.
Yeah, I was going to say you probably related to it a lot, didn't you, Tabor?
Yeah.
Being the
Absolutely.
oldest.
When I'm watching that movie, I identify with the Chris Pratt character. Absolutely.
Yeah. When Mom and I watched it the first time, when we watched it, we were like, that Chris Pratt is Tabor and that Tom Holland is Alec. And
it also helps that character's personality is kind of similar to mine.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I identify with Kevin Von Erich as the older brother in the Iron Claw, but I don't think I'm anything like Kevin Von Erich. Which brings me to, actually, let's finish with Onward real quick. Do you guys, when you watch Onward, do you identify with the older brother or do you identify with the little brother?
Well, being the youngest in this family.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to identify.
He couldn't drive.
Yeah.
Alec doesn't drive.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of stuff about Tom Holland, like his first time merging on the freeway.
I can drive and I have a license. Let's just get that out of the way.
I almost thought you were about to say you have legs.
Yeah.
Like the dad.
Yeah.
So you would be the bottom half of me.
And not like the Von Erich brother.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, Gary lost his leg.
Oh, boy, he does lose a leg.
Ellen loses a foot.
Still, I identify with both brothers because I am an older brother and I am a younger brother. And so I identify with both.
Yeah.
But I think I don't identify with like either, like super well either. Like it's just like I'm just watching a movie and it's about brothers. But from that first time watching it, thinking about it as you and Alec, I think it had more impact on me and meant more to me thinking about Gloin. What was the guy's name?
Barley.
Thinking about Barley.
Not even anywhere close.
Thinking about Barley as you and thinking about Ian as Alec, I think makes it special for me, more special. And looking over and watching you bawl like a baby as we watched it.
You're really playing up how much.
No, you were drenched. Like we had to wring your shirt out.
We had to wring Tabor out. We picked him up.
Yeah, we had to
make sure all that electrolytes gets back into the Gatorade bottle so I can drink it back down.
And seeing the little dragon and thinking of it as Binks.
Oh, you think of that as I was every time I saw that dragon, I was like, oh, those are my ferrets, those little idiots.
That's funny.
So second half of my question is when you watch the Iron Claw, do you identify when you're watching that movie, are you watching it as Kevin, the older brother who's losing his brothers. Are you, when you're watching this movie, are you imagining losing your brothers, or are you imagining it as a little brother who's passed away and leaving your older brother behind? Because when I watch it, all I think about is losing you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, if like I'd be the last one, and it would be, but because it was the younger brothers who died, do you think like, oh, I don't want to lose my brothers, or do you think, oh, what would happen if I left my older brother behind? Is that the way you watch it, or do you watch it if you lost your brothers?
The first time I watched it, it was just trying to like get the whole story down and then trying to not be an emotional wreck afterwards, because that was a rough watch. But I think the second time watching it, maybe I was thinking about it as being me with all my brothers being gone, because everyone knows that I'm going to last the longest out of any of us. And so
Is that a threat?
it's a promise if you keep pissing me off.
What makes you say that?
I don't know. It's just a feeling.
A feeling?
Yeah. This is taking a depressing turn.
Oh, no, I figured it would. And this is kind of a heavy movie to talk about. Yeah. Because, it's really crazy is that there are 4 brothers in the movie, and there are 4 of us. And so when I watch this movie, what ends up happening is, as I'm watching this movie, we lose Briar, and then we lose Alec, and then we lose Nicholas, and then I'm all alone.
He needs to wring your shirt out.
Yeah. And it's really crazy. When I watched it the first time, I watched it in theaters, and that's all I could think about was you guys. And I think I texted you right after I left the theater. I think I sent a group text, and I was like, hey, I love you guys very much, and I want you all to know that. And I hope you guys didn't think I was killing myself.
No, I definitely did. Anytime Dad sends me...
Every time I send Nicholas a message saying, hey, I love you,
I call him, and I'm just like...
I immediately get a call. You doing okay?
I know,
Are
I'm
you
like,
killing
you're
yourself?
not killing yourself, right? Trigger warning for anybody who's thinking about it.
Yeah.
But... yeah, anytime I get a text like that from anybody, I'm like, this is it. Like, I need to make sure they know I love them too.
Yeah. So
this is a movie about a wrestling family, and actually I grew up watching them. So the Von Erich, that's the Von Erich.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I grew up watching, I think I even saw the dad wrestling in some stuff.
no freaking way. Oh, yeah. Of course you would. Because when the dad wrestled, wrestling wasn't the WWE. It was a whole bunch of territorial things.
Right.
And he was in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were in Texas.
Yeah.
So you would have
Dad
known.
was in Michigan at the time.
Yeah, but that stuff was also televised and stuff. And I got really into the whole wrestling.
That was
thing.
in Michigan for like 2 years.
No.
Okay.
Dad was in Michigan for a lot of his younger life, and then he moved to Tejas.
You were in Michigan.
Oh, he went to Arizona for high school.
You were in Michigan until what? Like you were 14?
No. I was an adult in Texas. I had graduated high school and then moved
you went to
Texas.
high school in Arizona.
Yeah, so I'm saying you were in Michigan until you were
high school.
Yeah, whatever finishing, middle school is.
Yeah, so
13,
like 13, 14,
Yeah.
and then you went to Arizona, and then you went.
So you identify with the Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
That's
but-
where that's where it took place.
Oh, okay.
Or that's where it was. No, was it shot in Michigan? Or shot in Tennessee.
It was shot in Tennessee.
Yeah.
We talked about this
Yeah.
on the pod, the Evil Dead.
Never mind.
Go check out the Evil Dead podcast.
It's a good one.
The Evil Dead podcast.
That was a fun one.
Would you shut the hell up?
Whoa. So,
I wasn't gonna say it, but you're right. You're the oldest one.
Okay.
he was more. No, he wasn't the jerk. The jerk was the second one.
Jeremy Allen White. Is that who you're talking about? Carrie?
Yeah, Carrie.
He was the third.
He was the third.
Technically, yeah, because Zach Efron was second.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No. then he would have been fourth. Jeremy Allen White is younger than David. It goes Kevin, David, Carrie, and Mike. David was older.
Where does Chris fall in there?
Chris is the youngest. And that's a sad little story.
Yeah.
Poor little guy. I feel so bad for Chris. And it's a bummer that he didn't make it into the movie. And I watched a video saying that if they had made this like a 3 or like a 2 or a 3 episode miniseries,
Yeah.
that they probably could have put him in it. But it would have been just too much for one movie.
Well, I read that also, but I didn't really agree with that. One thing that, I liked the movie a lot, but you only got so much time to tell a story, right? And it's just a lot of tragedy going on. And I think that they could have put the other brother in there. And because really, we didn't get a whole lot of story about any of the brothers anyways. We just got, this quick, this is their relationship. Oh, he's dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Next. But anyways, back to, so they're a wrestling family, and they were actually really famous. They were inducted into the Wrestling Hall of Fame.
WWE Hall of Fame.
Right.
2009.
Which is pretty cool. But the story, even though it's about a wrestling family, is really just about the relationships between the brothers, the father, and even the mother. We don't get a whole lot about the mom, but the little bits that we do get about her. Little bits.
Well, the part where she was like, "That's what your brothers are for, sweetie." Like, they couldn't even talk to her about anything.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude.
Also, I reached into the fridge to grab a new Grape Crush, who is our sponsor, by the way, sponsor of this episode, Grape Crush. Have you ever tasted a storm drain?
Have you ever tasted cough syrup?
I don't think that's going to help them sponsor us.
Yeah.
That advertisement.
Well, some people speaking of, Crush has a new drink out.
The retro one?
Yeah, the retro 80s.
Yeah, I saw that.
Do they?
Pretty cool, yeah.
Where's that at?
You can.
Oh
Cut
my
that, cut that.
gosh.
No. Bleep that, bleep that, bleep bleep bleep.
Bleep, bleep.
Yeah, they have a new Crush out. Retro's 80 Crush. 80s retro Crush. It's pretty cool.
You ever tasted the 80s? Or did you ever snort the 80s?
Yeah. But yeah, Iron Claw is definitely a rough watch. The second time watching it, just watching it with Dad, I was able to get through it a lot better this time. I feel like the first time watching it, it broke me. Like, I was absolutely devastated, and looking around and seeing Tabor in tears, Haley in tears, Alec who never cries, just like literally wailing.
I was wailing.
Yeah, Alec was wailing, and that's like, I don't see that often from Alec, so that broke
It
me.
sent shivers down your
Yeah,
spine.
but the reason for that is it dug so deep into your emotion,
Yeah.
being brothers and stuff.
It sinks its iron claw
It
right
gra-
into
it
your
grabs
heart.
right into your skull.
Yeah, and it is a rough watch. The second time watching it, though, I held on pretty well through like all the brothers dying, and I was like, because I know it's coming. But the part that still got me was at the very end with Kevin and his sons, and they're like, "We'll be your brothers, Dad." That part still got me.
Right. The dad's sitting there and he's watching his sons play ball, but he's
Remember
thinking about,
when he played ball with his brothers.
and now all of his brothers are gone. Right.
There's so many things. Oh, there's Binky. I don't know if we mentioned in a previous podcast, but we lost Princey.
Yeah.
We were always making jokes about shooting Princey with that water bottle, and he passed away. So one cat left.
One of our brothers.
We'll be your cat, Binks.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, poor Binks used to be a brother.
jeez. Poor little guy.
He just
Yeah.
wants you to be a plate of food.
Yeah. Yeah. So we talked about Chris a couple minutes ago. We never got to finish talking about him. He's the youngest brother.
Yep.
And what's really funny is that a couple of the other brothers were like, yeah, we enjoy wrestling, but we're kind of just doing it because, our dad's doing it. And a lot of the older brothers, they were like, man, we want to be like our dad. And Chris was so young that he never saw his dad wrestle. He was just this old man at that point. So his idols were his brothers, and he wanted nothing more than to be like his brothers. That's what he wanted. But Chris was born with asthma and was constantly using an inhaler, and it gave him brittle bones. So he just was not physically able to wrestle without hurting himself. There's that scene in the Iron Claw where I just lost his name. The younger brother. Mike. He does that wrestling move and lands on his shoulder and messes up his shoulder. That's actually an amalgamation of two characters. So Mike's story is kind of mixed with Chris's story. And Chris was the one who did that wrestling move and landed on his shoulder and messed up his shoulder.
But Mike also injured himself because he did go into surgery and did get the high fever and did end up with
his
the brain
surgery
damage.
Was not like an emergency surgery. Like his was just like, oh yeah, I messed up this thing. We need to get it fixed up. But you're right. He did have complications in surgery. The thing is that they don't tell you is that in the movie, they make it look like he went into surgery in America, but they were out of the country. I think they were in like Tel Aviv or something like that. And so they had to go out of the country to have this surgery. And he ended up getting sick overseas.
Yeah. So Chris died by suicide.
All of them did except for David.
Yeah.
And Jack Jr. Jack Jr. was electrocuted and drowned.
Yeah.
But
poor little guy.
At the age of 6.
Yeah, he was just a little guy.
What in the world was going on?
Yeah. I guess they lived in a trailer park, and they had cables plugged into one of the trailers, and it was going through a pool of water. And he walked into that puddle, and that's what electrocuted him.
Wow.
And then he fell in the puddle and
face first into the puddle and passed out and couldn't get up, and he ended up drowning. So
pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's a really, really sad story. Just
one tragedy after
that's
another.
A lot of suicide. And when I'm watching it, I'm thinking about what from the parents' perspective is, you have one son that dies by electrocution when he's little, and then you have another son that kills himself, another son that kills himself, and another son that kills himself. How much can you take? That would just be unbearable.
Yeah, and I think like you kind of see that in the film when like the mom's going to put on her funeral outfit for Mike, right? And she's like, I can't put it on. I need to get a different one. They're gonna recognize it. And then
I think she didn't want to put it on anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, when Fritz comes in, he's like, what's for dinner? And she's like, I'm not hungry. I'm just painting. And it's like, at that point, it's like, she's lost everybody. And it's like,
yeah, I think that's also kind of like a symbol of her recognizing that Fritz pushing all of these kids so hard is what, led to their downfall. And she's just like, I'm not gonna deal with Fritz anymore, because they ended up getting divorced shortly afterwards.
And he died of a heart attack shortly after, right?
I read cancer.
Oh, was it cancer?
Yeah.
I knew he died shortly after, but I couldn't remember what it was.
I thought he had a stroke. And when
cancer,
he went,
stroke, heart attack.
No. He had a stroke. And then when they went in, they found cancer. He had lung cancer, and it had already moved to his brain. And that's what caused the stroke. And then I think he died shortly after. What's going on?
Pause.
Pause. Recording. So hold on. Here we go.
And we're back.
Sorry. We had to pause. Someone was breaking into the house.
Yeah.
Did we find out what it was?
It was nothing.
Oh.
It never is.
Alrighty. We were talking about the Iron Claw.
Yeah.
TSA took my claws away.
Here's something.
Okay.
Comparing the two films, I think it's interesting how with what?
I just don't know why you're constantly making crustacean noises.
I'm not. What are you
Do
talking about?
crustaceans make noises? I mean,
They have to.
when you throw them in a boiling pot, they do.
I don't want to think about that.
The Iron Claw, it seems like family is pressure in that. Like, there's pressure from the dad. There's pressure to be like the brothers. It seems like the Iron Claw, even though it is about family and these relationships between these brothers and stuff, it seems very strenuous, like their relationships and stuff, and very
Only from the parents. With the brothers, it's very carefree and fun. And
well, I don't know, because there's that
sort
part.
of. The brothers, to some degree, are all vying for their father's
Yeah,
attention.
because there's the part right after David died where the dad's like, somebody's got to take David's place. And Kevin's like, I'm the oldest, I should do it. And Carrie's like, screw you, I get a shot at this too. I deserve it just as much as you do. Give it to me, give it to me. And then after Carrie loses his leg and they're in the ring trying to get him back into wrestling shape, he literally punched Kevin in the face. And I don't know if that happened in real life or something, but at least in the movie it did. So it seemed like even between brothers, there was a little strenuous because there was just so much pressure on all of them. And I think in contrast, in Onward, there is maybe not as much pressure
It's
between.
more of an internal conflict.
It's more of an internal conflict,
He
but especially
feels-
with Tom Holland, not
Yeah.
necessarily.
He
I
feels
feel-
pressure to be either more outgoing like his brother, or more brave like his brother, or be more like his dad, the stories that he's heard of him. But no one's telling him to be that way. That's just how he feels.
Yeah. And so, like, it's just interesting to see, like, almost like Barley doesn't even, like, notice what's going on with his brother. His mind is just like, let's get this quest done and let's meet dad again. And then Tom Holland or Ian has all this stuff going on within him. Like, I want to do these things with dad. I want to be like dad. Barley's a screw up, but Barley has helped me become this and stuff like that. And there's just like more of an internal conflict in there, while with Iron Claw, it seems like it's more like external conflicts because of the pressure between.
yeah, the Iron Claw is not actually a wrestling move. It's the grasp that Fritz has on the family. He's got his Iron Claw on,
Crushing them.
on the brothers, and he's doing the crushing, whether he knows he is or not.
Yeah.
I wish on this podcast one time you could say something that was accurate. Just one time.
Okay. Well,
Because the Iron Claw is a wrestling move.
what's the correction?
Well,
What he just said.
Yeah.
Well, now Dad's being Fritz, and he's putting a lot of pressure on you to
Now,
say the thing that he expects.
everybody knows that Alec's my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it goes Tabor and Briar,
But the rankings can always change.
Nicholas.
Why am I not even included?
I was thinking if you were going to be in it or not.
Which, by the way,
fine.
for those of you who have listened to the podcast long enough, and we've said this joke a couple times throughout, but that's where this comes from, is from the Iron Claw. So you mentioned, I was finishing the Iron Claw. We watched Onward, and then I had to finish the last 20 minutes of Iron Claw before we started the podcast. And Dad was watching over my shoulder, and there's the scene where Carrie is in the boat going towards
Right.
his brothers, and he
What-
sets the coin down.
Right. That's one of my favorite scenes not that he dies and stuff, but when he kind of crosses over
Yeah.
and
The
steps outside and he
Greek
has
mythology.
feet and, he's jumping around and
It's so funny.
Stuff.
Is you, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go
Good.
ahead. I was going to say it's so funny. You see him walking, and then it pans down, and you see he has both feet. And I'm like, okay, here it comes. I'm going to start crying. This is going to be really sad.
Right. Right. So the coin is like you had said, the coin is the dad uses to determine who was going to get the shot. I don't know. Maybe it was like a double-headed coin. I don't know. But anyways, that's the extent of what we're going to put into this and your future is I'm going to flip a coin and whoever gets it gets it.
Mm-hmm.
But when he's crossing the lake or whatever it is in the boat, and he sets the coin down on the seat next to him, it is representative of Greek mythology.
Greek mythology, yeah.
When who is it?
When you're crossing the river Styx
Mhm.
and you have to
It's
pay.
Hades.
You have to pay. You have to pay the.
Oh, I know the toll. I know
Yeah,
what the toll guy's name
It's
is.
not Hades.
It's like Chiron or something. I know it.
That's it. Chiron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charon.
Chiron. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to pay him to cross.
Yeah. But it's also a symbol of he's getting rid of the coin. There is no more need for the coin. We're never going to have to
Right.
flip again
No more pressure.
to decide which brother gets what. That it's all of them together from here on out.
He's relinquishing that hold his father had on him by leaving that coin in the boat and joining his brothers.
Well, and it was kind of cool. Even his note that he leaves behind, I'm going to be with my brothers.
I walk with my brothers. I walk 2 feet. I walk.
Oh, is that what it said?
It said I
I
walk with my brothers. Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice.
So I watched a video and I could be wrong, but I think his suicide note, is taken from actual words he said to another wrestler while he was on the road. I guess when things were starting to get bad, he was always talking about how it's like, I'm going to be with my brothers soon. It's like, I don't know when, but,
Yeah, I also read there was a wrestler he was really close with. I can't remember who it was, but that wrestler said, like, we were close enough that Kerry would take his prosthetic foot off near me and we would talk about it and joke about it and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. Kerry was so self-conscious about that foot that he used to, when they would shower off after shows, he would leave his boots on. He would shower with his freaking boots on because he didn't want anyone to know that he had that prosthetic leg.
Well, that's weakness.
Uh-huh.
So, it's another thing. I'm surprised this didn't make it into the movie because it fits with the character of Fritz. But apparently, so in the movie, he gets in the motorcycle accident and he loses his foot.
Yeah.
I guess in real life, he got in a motorcycle accident and he injured his foot, but he didn't lose it.
Mm-hmm.
And that his foot had to be amputated later because he was walking on it and he re-injured it. He was walking on it before he was supposed to. And a lot of people think it was Fritz trying to get him
back in the ring,
back into the ring.
Pushing before he was ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So another thing I noticed this time around on this watch is there's the scene, that river scene where he's going to meet his brothers.
Yeah.
They're on that exact same river at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Where they're floating and they're drinking the beers and the coolers and stuff like that.
Oh,
and
that's right.
They go floating by and you see the dock and there's people jumping off the dock and they're like, hey, Kevin, and stuff like that. It's the same river.
Yeah.
There's so many things that are set up at the beginning of the movie that pay off again later. We were watching it and there's a insert shot of the family photo at the end of the movie. And Dad was watching over my shoulder. And I said, that's the exact same shot that they use at the beginning of the movie. And it's so funny because the beginning of the movie, they show that picture to establish the family. And the only one who's missing is Jack Jr. He's got that little picture, that little school photo, at the corner.
Right.
And it's to show, this, they've lost this brother, but they still have everybody else. And then they show the same exact picture again at the end of the movie. And now all of the brothers who were in that photo are now gone, except Kevin.
Yeah.
And so that photo has a different meaning at the end of the movie than it does at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
So I think depression and, mental health and pressure and these all played a factor in suicide. That's a lot of suicide for one family to go through. But I was wondering, now I can't remember what I was wondering. I just lost my train of thought.
Oh.
You Nicholas, you've had at your school, you've had several people who have committed
Died.
suicide. Suicide is
Died by suicide.
is such a prevalent thing that you don't even realize. But
Yeah, and I kind of feel like things have gotten a little worse. I kind of think we're in a very bleak time right now. It almost seems like every couple of decades we're in a bleak time. The 70s was not too good for everybody. I guess the 30s weren't too good for everybody. So
why do you think Kevin Von Erich came out and he was able to make it out and continue on with life? And what's your...
I don't know. I think that if I was the last child, that I think I would force myself to stay alive, like out of obligation to the family, I think. And I wonder if that's the case. Like, he's just like, I can't. I'm the last one. No matter how bad things get, I can't do this to my parents one more time.
He also had a wife and 2 sons and another kid on the way. So he had his own family and obligations that he had to take care of and stuff. And so
I think that was probably a big part of it.
yeah.
It is the family that he was establishing probably played a big part in, why he was able to. He had to focus his attention on his family now.
I think in real life, Carrie got divorced, right? And
he had a
David-
daughter too.
And David had a daughter who had died before.
I think David got divorced too.
Yeah. So maybe it was just they had so many things happen to them, pressure and loss and so many things that it was just too much for them. And maybe because Kevin wasn't losing the same amount of things, maybe he was able to hold on. I don't know. It's hard to say what they were thinking, experiencing, and all that stuff. But
We have any more thoughts on Iron Claw or Onward?
I have one more thought.
Okay.
Iron Claw. I'm looking for it. Oh, it was under legacy. Kevin's sons, Ross and Marshall, who you see playing around, and I'll be your brother, Dad. They went on to be wrestlers also. They're a tag team.
in the WWE, right?
Right. And then it also said Carrie's daughter, Lacey Von Erich, is also in wrestling, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another cool thing is at the end of the movie seeing that photo, the family photo at the end, where it's
Kevin
just
with all of his
that
family.
giant family. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like a symbol of the curse has ended.
Right.
They've overcome the curse, and
His boys didn't share the Von Erich name.
actually, you know, it's when you look at it, it's Fritz Von Erich. It was Von Erich, right?
Yeah.
Why did I've been saying that name all day, and now it just sounds weird.
Now your brain is on the fritz.
Yeah. He was the curse. Oh, hold on. Nicholas wants me to. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of levity on this heavy episode.
One thing that I had written down was that one big difference between the Iron Claw and Onward was the Iron Claw was legacy, pressure, and grief led to a great weight and a great amount of tragedy. And Onward was adventure, connection, and grief led to healing and acceptance. So they both shared grief. Granted, one's fake, one's a cartoon, not a true story, and one experienced way more grief than the other one and was a true story. But they both experienced grief and maybe both experienced pressure, but they had different outcomes.
Yeah, I imagine if you've experienced as much grief as the Von Erichs have, I just feel like, you know, if they just lost David or Jack Jr.
Yeah.
If they just lost Jack Jr., they kept going. They were all still there.
Yeah, because none of them died by suicide until David had his, what is it, enteritis or something, his intestinal.
Have you heard the theory that he actually died of an overdose?
There's also a theory that he had a heart attack. There's a lot of skepticism around what
it
actually happened to
was.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting.
We were talking about this before the show started. And I think it'd be a good thing to talk about. We should bring it back up. Is talking about Studio Binder's, not story circle, but the
4 endings.
the 4 endings. Yeah, I think that's such a cool thing. I'm so glad that they made that video.
It's probably the best set of Studio Binder videos that I've seen.
Dude, that whole channel is freaking incredible. It's just
True.
it's just film school, dude. It's literally free film school.
Yeah.
But
as someone who goes to film school, they show us Studio Binder videos in school.
Do they really?
That's hilarious. So what kind of an ending, we kind of talked about before, that Ian got what he needed but not what he wanted. So
was this the semi-sweet?
I think so.
So they have sweet, bitter,
Semi-sweet
and bittersweet.
Yeah.
50% cacao.
So
cacao.
Thinking of Kevin Von Erich as the main character of the Iron Claw, what kind of ending do you think that had? Was that just a bitter ending?
No, not at all.
What
He
do you
wins in
think?
the end. He breaks the curse. What he wanted was to follow in his father's footsteps and become this great, amazing championship wrestler, and he didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
But what he needed was to break the generational curse and raise his kids the right way. And not only has he done that in the movie, he's done that in real life.
Yeah.
He got himself a semi-sweet ending in real life. Of course, he lost his brothers, and that's absolutely devastating. But he picked himself up, and he's like, I have to keep going for my kids. I cannot let my kids suffer the same tragedies that that I did.
So both Iron Claw and Onward had semi-sweet endings where they got what they needed.
They got what they needed, but they did not get what they
wanted.
want. So let's go over these real quick. The 4 endings. There's the sweet ending, which is they get what they need and they get what they want. It's a happy ending. There's the bitter ending where they don't get what they need and they don't get what they want. Then there's the bittersweet ending is where they get what they want, but they don't get what they need. So it's like that ending. A good bittersweet ending is The Godfather.
No, Godfather, I think, according to Studio Binder, was bitter, wasn't it?
Oh, hold on.
Bittersweet
it
was
is.
Social Network. He got what
You're
he
right.
wanted, but not what he needed.
What he needed, yeah. He was able to keep Facebook and create this, giant empire.
What he needed was love and friends.
And
He didn't
human
get that.
connection. And
Yeah.
So,
Which is funny because that's what Facebook was about, was human connection. But
Yeah.
he couldn't do it himself.
yeah. So you're right. Godfather was a bitter ending. He didn't get what he wanted.
And he didn't.
He also didn't get what he needed either.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future was a sweet ending.
He got what he wanted and got what he needed.
Yeah. And then semi-sweet, like Onward, where he
Which is mentioned in that Studio Binder video.
Yeah.
Which is where I first heard of that movie
Yeah.
to begin with. So I do recommend going on YouTube, checking out Studio Binder if you are interested in film. There is tons of stuff on there, tons of valuable resources to help you write your movie, help you film your movie, help you light your movie and do sound for your movie, everything. They have everything for every department you can possibly think of. So if you're interested in film and you don't know where to start with Studio Binder. Make sure you feed Binks, because
We did
you
feed
can't
him.
you can't make a movie if Binks is hungry. And also align yourself with your local filmmaker group. Every state in America has its own local film scene. Get involved. Get involved with your local scene and watch Studio Binder. That's all you need to make a movie, and a cell phone. That's all you need. Get started.
Anything that can record video.
Yeah. Also, we recommend going and watching Onward and Iron Claw. Both of those movies were absolutely incredible, even though, they are sad, especially freaking Iron Claw, devastating movie. It is absolutely worth it. It gets the Tabor Johnson 2023 snubbed award.
Yeah. So if you want the family-friendly grief
Version of the Iron Claw.
Yeah, watch Onward. If you want the adult unfriendly, I mean, there's nothing friendly about this movie, but if you want the adult version, watch the Iron Claw. Either way.
Now, when you
probably
guys
gonna
watched the Iron Claw compared to when I watched the Iron Claw, I'm actually get to see it and think about my past because I grew up watching these people. I've got Bruiser Brody, the Fabulous Freebirds, Harley Race, Ric Flair. I've watched all those guys wrestling.
Can we talk about Ric Flair for a second?
Sure.
Everybody who is a wrestling fan all over the internet says they absolutely hate the guy that played Ric Flair. They hate him. They're like, he was horrible. He was doing a garbage impression of Ric Flair, but then everybody says the same thing afterwards. The scene where he's in the locker room? Yeah, he did okay there.
That's Ric Flair.
Yeah, that's pretty Ric Flair. They're just like, how could you go from absolutely missing the target entirely to walking into the locker room and be like, oh, well, okay, that's pretty good. He did a good job there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't grow up watching wrestling. I think we watched one episode of wrestling with you, and Mom was like, turn this crap off. Why are you guys watching this? So we turned it off, and we never turned it back on.
Yeah.
I did not grow up with wrestling until I watched Man on the Moon, and then started getting into that. I thought that was pretty cool. Anything else we want to talk about, or are we ready to start wrapping things up here?
Yeah.
Rate the
I
movies.
think I'm good.
If you're feeling like ending your life, call 988 for the suicide hotline.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. That's good advice.
Yeah.
Well, there's help out there.
That's on the poster.
You can seek therapy. You can.
I always say, let's just wait and see what tomorrow brings. If you're thinking about suicide, just hold on and let's see. Maybe tomorrow will make a difference.
Yeah.
Just keep doing that.
Yeah. Well said. All right.
For Onward,
Let's rank these movies.
how many?
Phoenix crystals.
Okay, I was gonna say Guinevere's, but how many Phoenix crystals would you give Onward? What are we doing, out of 10?
Yeah,
Out of
out
100?
of 10.
Okay.
I'd-
Now, obviously, not comparing it to. I know we've been comparing Onward to the Iron Claw and contrasting
No,
the two movies
it's
a lot.
its own thing.
Yeah, it's its own thing. Maybe comparing it to other Pixar movies, or even just as its own thing. Yeah.
I would give it 7.5 Phoenix crystals.
Much. Eric.
I'd say around the same, 7.5, somewhere maybe like 7.7.
I think I'd give it 8 Phoenix crystals.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm giving it 6 Phoenix crystals and 1 Tracy Ullman.
Tracy Ullman. Where's Tracy Ullman factor in all this?
She's the pawn shop owner.
No way.
Yeah, that was Tracy Ullman.
No way. Oh, that's so funny.
funny.
I love that.
Yeah, I like Tracy Ullman. So,
So what does that equate to?
how many crystals is a Tracy Ullman? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not for me to figure out.
It's 10 until she finds
Until she
out
finds out how much the
that
movie's
it's-
worth,
that
then
it's
it's
one- that it's
10,000.
one of a kind.
Right.
Do you
Right.
give it 6 just because it's a cartoon?
Probably that's my biggest thing.
If it wasn't a cartoon, what would you give it?
I'd probably give it a 9.
Really?
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Freaking saturation and drawn lines. That makes a huge difference, I guess.
Ruins it for
No one's
Man,
doing 2D animation.
If it had been
anymore.
in Japanese, I think that would have dropped me. No, I'm just kidding.
If Godzilla could have popped out also at least one time.
Yeah.
Then we could have had Christian back on the podcast.
Oh, that one. Yeah. He's always welcome.
Iron Claw.
So Iron Claw. How 1 out of 10 woos?
Ric Flair woos.
Ric Flair woos.
Yeah, how many woos does it get?
Who's starting?
I'll go first.
Okay. 10.
This is the 10 woo for me. 100%. This movie's incredible. I don't see any flaws in it at all. I love it. I've been on a string of 10s like these last couple episodes.
You're the 10 guy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alec?
I'd say about 9.5 woos, which is like 9 woos and a woo.
A little woo.
Yeah.
Little Woo was my nickname in high school.
Okay.
Like 9 woos and then a John woo.
Yeah.
Classic.
What?
I'd probably also give it 9.5 woos and then half of a we'll be your brother.
Why do you do this to me?
No, I gave it a 10 out of 10 on IMDb, and so I think I would probably give it 10 out of 10 woos.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's really good.
I'd also give it 9 woos. Only because I liked the story and I loved the actors, but I think maybe they could have done a little better job with the story. I felt like it was too chopped up, as far as, I'm going from this point where somebody kills himself.
Yeah, it's
and a few
kinda
seconds
hard
later,
to
I've got
tell.
the next brother killing himself, and then
It's kind of hard to tell the story of
The timeline.
an entire timeline of someone's family in 2 hours.
Yeah.
When you have to jump from point to point, because you can't just
Over the
be
span
like,
of a decade.
yeah, you can't just say that all this happened in a few days to try to make it work better.
Yeah.
that's what I got.
Nice.
All right. Well, we ready to wrap this up?
Let's go.
I would just like to say before we take off, thank you for listening to My Dad's Movie Podcast. You can listen to the podcast on Spotify, on Amazon, on Apple. You can even check it out on YouTube, sometimes with video attached to it. Go check out the Mike Ferguson episode. That one is our first one with video. Hopefully we'll have more in the future.
If you use Pocket Casts, I don't know who does that,
Pocket
but
Casts.
it's on there as well.
Yeah, you can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Be sure to follow us, send us a like.
Subscribe.
Yeah, do the subscribe. You help grow the show. We can do all sorts of advertising. We can do all sorts of gimmicks and stuff, but what grows the show is liking, commenting, subscribing, and word of mouth. Tell a friend about the show if they like movies.
And Patreon.
Check out the Patreon.
You
There
can
are
sign
different
up.
tiers.
You can sign up completely for free if you just want updates.
Tell us the
Or-
tiers, Tabor. I love the names of them.
It is the youngest child tier, which is it's free to sign up for that, and you get to help support the show.
You get the pleasure of supporting us.
Yeah.
You get to know in your heart of hearts that you are helping these podcast people grow.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
And then there's the middle child tier, which gives you a couple more benefits. You get episodes early, as well as a couple of other benefits. You should go on and check that out.
Completely unedited episodes early.
Yeah, it's the minute we finish in the studio, you get the episode. And then also we have our oldest child tier, which includes early access, fan requests, member shout out, and exclusive voting power. And then the final one is the dad, also known as the producer tier, which gets you a shout out at the beginning of the episode. So you get to hear your name in the episode before we start the show.
Cody Newton.
As long as along with a bunch of other exclusive content and merch opportunities as well. So yeah, check us out on all those platforms. We love you guys. We hope that we're doing a good show for you, and we really want to
I'm
continue to
going
see
to
this
have to
grow.
check it out because I didn't know you guys changed all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here.
And we're gone.